Sorry, SNA fans. So Super Ninja Austin back here with the second clip of the AEW Collision review on March 2nd, the go home edition of Collision before AEW Revolution. Yeah, these these internet connection difficulties are just getting worse and worse in the minute. I need to find some stable internet somewhere, but yeah, let's continue and talk about AEW Collision. This is where we got Juice Robinson. They were holding up the sign with Juice Robinson with Bang Bang Scissor Gang. I was like, when we're gonna see timeless Tony Storm's husband back in All Elite Wrestling? Because it's been months the last time we seen the what's that Rock Hard wrestler like in quite some time now. Which y'all all agree with me on this. Like most of y'all, I believe most of y'all would agree with me on the absence of Juice Robinson, of course. And I need to stop saying, of course, I do time, even though I'm trying to confirm the facts that I'm pointing out right now. But anyways, this is where we got Max Caster tagged in. This is where we got him trying to do some kind of suplex to Alex Reynolds until he got speared right into the corner. This is where Evil Uno tags himself into this. This is where they start double teaming on the Max Caster until Max Caster trying to hit double hits right onto Evil Uno and Alex Reynolds until they beat him down for good. This is where we got what's his name? John Silver, he got tagged in. And this is where he tried to go for a clothesline. This is where Max Caster ducks. This is where he tried to go for a back suplex, but knees him to his backside. This is where it's a side Russian leg sweep right onto that atomic drop. That's what they call it, like with the side Russian leg sweep. This is where Max Caster was like, all right, and you, Evil Uno. This is where he hits a big spinning body slam right onto the big the Dark Order luchador member, I guess you could call him. This is where Max Caster tags in his acclaimed tag partner Anthony Bowens. This is where him and Alex Gunn grabs onto the legs of Evil Uno. This is where we got what's his name? Anthony Bowens like scissor me, and this is where he hits that leg drop right onto the growing area in the family jewels, and then this right onto. Which you could call it Scissor Me Timbers, which that's what the move's called, like that tag team double team maneuver, if not triple team, I should say triple, because usually like there's three guys that are triple teaming their opponents when they do this move, like with the two guys grabbing them to the legs of their opponent, anyway, Anthony Bowens right in the middle of the ring, and then does the scissoring bow and then the leg drop and do the maneuver that's called. This is where the Acclaim's like scissor, and then this is where Austin Gunn was like guns up, and then this is where they try to do the Bang Bang Scissor Gang celebrate. I was like come on guys, like the match's not over, you can celebrate afterwards. And this is where they kind of learned it the hard way with John Silver hitting a big boot right in the Anthony Bowens. This is where Austin Gunn tried to grab him, try to do a back to belly maneuver, but he gets elbowed by him. This is where Max Caster tried to go for a clothesline, but this is where he ducks. This is where Alex Reynolds got in the ring. This is where Max Caster was running through the right-hand side ropes. This is where he pops him up. This is where, what's his name? John Silver hits a big European uppercut right into the jaw of uppercut right onto the jaw of Max Caster. This is where we got Evil Uno hitting this spinning flatlining slam that looked like Sister Abigail or the Blade Runner, but this only got him. This one we got him like 2.4, I suppose. This is where they started triple teaming poor Austin in the ring. And it is where but no matter. This is where that Austin Gunn tags himself in the match. That match. This is where Austin Gunn tags in Anthony Bowens. He's starting the comeback move until they got the numbers advantage against him and got the better of him. This is where he hits a running clothesline to him. This is where he sits an instant kick, trying to throw him right into Alex Reynolds. But this is where Anthony Bowens throws him right into Alex Reynolds with him trying to go for a discus right fist. But this is where he actually knocks out his own dude. This is where we got Max Caster tags in his Acclaim tag. This is where he hit some. This is where he tried to go for a clothesline, but this is where Anthony Bowens counters out of it, and then hits him with his that side maneuver slam, and this is where Max Caster went on the top rope, hits the mic drop elbow strike right onto right. I'm not elbow like the elbow drop, mic drop elbow drop right onto the midsection of Alex Reynolds, and get the 1, 2, 3, and your winners, the Acclaim and Austin Gunn of the Bang Bang Scissor Gang. And it is where they all celebrate with their guns and scissors up and reunite. I mean, and uniting in the celebration with them celebrating by holding up their Ring of Honor and AEW Trios Tag Team Champions with the Acclaim and the Guns start following the Guns' father Billy Gunn's lead by putting it right between their legs, start doing their dance with it, like, which I'm not sure if they should be teaching kids any of that stuff, but yeah, I believe it's perhaps harmless at the same time, even though it's kind of silly and maybe a little inappropriate, but we're not going to get into that. But this is where we got. And it is where we got Lexi. What's her name? I forget her last name. This is where we got backstage interview from Lexi, interviewing Stokely Hathaway, Willow Nightingale, and Statlander, with her asking like, and she was like, unfortunately, things didn't come up in your favor, Chris Statlander, but however, you and Willow will fortunately, everything was in your favor against Sky Blue this past Wednesday on Dynamite. But however, you will be teaming with Will Nightingale to take on Sky Blue and Julia Hart at the 0 Hour show on AEW Revolution tomorrow. Again, is there any different tactics on the way to this match? This is where Stokely Hathaway then starts saying, like, well, first of all, Lexi, like, we just need to let me address the big fat elephant in the room, and no, Willow, I'm not talking about you. Like, even though as much as I'd like to make jokes about you looking like an elephant, but anyway, this is where Stokely is like, and this is some accountabilities that, but we're the. And I want to take accountability of my actions, and yes, I will be making the Whoopi Goldberg stance. Like, so I just wanted to, the personally say, and this is where he repeatedly try to put his shoulder onto, put his arm onto Chris Statlander's shoulders, with Chris Statlander hilariously keep pushing off of him, which who could blame her of doing that, because you don't know what he's been doing with them hands. But anyway, this is where Stokely Hathaway then continued by saying, where was I? And I was thinking to myself, I was like, why is Stokely comparing situations, like if it's a sitcom, or comparing him and Willow and Chris, like if they're some popular celebrities. But anyway, this is where Stokely Hathaway then said, and he was like, and I just want to say I apologize for trying to do this the dirty way. This is where Will's like, put your apologies in the side. Like, that doesn't matter. Like, don't worry about it. Like, we heard enough of it, Stokely. We just need to get on the same page fast, because tomorrow is not about friendship or anything like that. So it's about revolution. Like, so Julia and Sky, like, you are gonna, like, me and Stat are gonna kick your ass. Like, basically, with Residency basically said to them, like, with a very angry and steamy breathing in and breathing out voice, saying, yeah, like, there's not about friendships, because me and Chris are gonna kick both of y'all's asses. And then she's like breathing in and breathing out in a pissed off way. But this is where we move on to the next slide. But what are your thoughts before talk more about what happened on AEW Collision? What are your thoughts on Willow and Chris Statlander of finally getting a match against Sky and Sky Blue and Julia Hart at this Sunday's Revolution, except it will be on 0 Hour rather than the main show. But even for being on the main, even if it's not going to be on the main show, there's like either way. So yeah, I guess for both the fans and the wrestlers that seem like they're not going to have a match. I thought we probably will have Chris Statlander or Willow Nightingale going after Sky Blue for the TBS Championship. That probably won't happen until the next from now. But yeah, this is where we got. But anyway, we're going to talk about more about that like during the pay-per-view. But this is where we got Wardlow coming out, and this is where he had a few things to say about this 8-man scramble match. And this is where Wardlow's like, I won the face of Revolution, like in that match, like, and 1 year ago, I choked out your king, like the Samoan king. Like this year, finally, like I get my shot at the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. And I was thinking, like, why is that finally like that in a very loud and pointed to the obvious manner? I was like, is this a clear shot at The Rock in the Bloodline? Perhaps so. Even though he's going after a different Samoan for a different world title in a different company. But this is a guy that was even with the current champion, like about a few years ago. That the guy that's currently the AEW champion. But this is where we got Wardlow I had to say, like, after I beat all the other guys and all-stars to be exact in this match, and this is where fans were having mixed emotions because they said, we do, the half said, we do want to see Wardlow's world champion. The other half was like, why he should be champion. Like, he's not really doing much like a main eventer, so he shouldn't be getting pushed anytime soon, which something just tells me in my spirit, like, he's not going to win unless it's going to ties in the story, like with him immediately getting a title match, like against someone like Samoa Joe, just for him to win and give it to Adam Cole. But I'm not sure if they're going to get a number one contender spot, but not at this time. I think it's going to be someone like Chris Jericho or I'll say Chris Jericho or Powerhouse Hobbs or even who else was in this match? Maybe Brian Cage, maybe even Dante Martin, but I don't think Dante Martin's ready. So I'll say either Hook, Brian Cage, Powerhouse Hobbs, or Chris Jericho. But anyway, this is where we got Wardlow's like, who's it going to be in this scramble match? Wardlow, like, versus Hangman Adam Page? The fans were halfway screaming, or the other one was not sure if they want to hear it. And then this is where he pointed out Hangman's mustache by saying, it doesn't matter who is it I'm going to face. Even if it is that Hangman Adam Page, I'm going to slap that funny look. If that's an AEW clear reference, then that's absolutely true. Because, like, it hardly existed at the other company. But anyway, this is where fans like, well, we can't argue at that, but we won't be the world champion. And this is like, and last but not least, it could be Wardlow versus Samoa Joe. Like we go back to our path and our history together. Fans start chanting for Joe. And this is where Wardlow's like, I don't understand you guys at all. He's like, I am absolutely sick of hearing your dumb hillbillies chanting Joe. Like, I just got to keep chanting Joe. Like, Joe. And that's all you know about? Like, you know what, you guys? Like, I hope, like, it is you, Samoa Joe. Like, because everybody knows, like, you're in my spotlight. And you're in my spot as AEW World Champion. And then this time, we're going to finish the job. Like, not only I'm going to take my spot as AEW World Champion and take my title, like, I am going to beat you, Joe, so bad that you are going to be forced to put on the headset and sit your ass in that announce table for where you belong permanently this time. Except this time in AEW, which is a clear reference to his time as a commentator on Monday Night Raw when he got injured back in 2020, I believe. Yeah, until he until he eventually came back like in the following year later. But they decided to put him on NXT, which I'm not sure that was fully a good idea. The only reason was that was a good idea because like finally having somebody to dethrone Karrion Kross before he fully roster. But anyways, yeah. But yeah, I understand like they didn't kept him on Monday Night Raw or move him to SmackDown for a little bit, then move him to NXT. But I think it was the perfect time to put him on NXT at that time, like because they did not know what to do with him. He nearly got like released, like or he did, but they brought him back like to be on the NXT brand. But we're gonna probably talk about that in another video. But anyways, this is where we got Wardlow's like, I am hip, like I've been him, like I will always be him, and I was like. And I hope you're not lying because for the past 3 years, we already had a him in the wrestling business, and that man is none other than Carmelo Hayes. Like, but anyways, this is where one of those like I am still the face of the revolution. Like I am the uncrowned king. Like because this is no longer a wrestling world. This is war. And this is where Wardlow did not mention anything about Chris Jericho, like well, none that I know of, but I believe he must have heard me like thousands of miles away because he came out of the ring, interrupted Wardlow, and this is where he's like, this Super Ninja kid wants to see me out in the ring, like why not just come out in the and interrupt this big goofy this big goofy ass dork that's keep rambling about he's gonna win this 8-man scramble match and face either Swerve or not Wardlow. He's already Wardlow, Hangman Adam Page or Samoa Joe. And then this is where Chris Jericho started questioning him. He's like, so Wardlow, like, so what you're saying is that you're gonna face either Swerve, Joe, or Hangman, like you. He's like, but the funny thing is, like, you're not going to be fighting him tomorrow, like, at AEW Revolution, okay? Like, you're the All-Star Scramble, and I don't know if you know me. Like, I'm Chris Jericho, by the way. Like, I'm not a... Like, like that, he's not no... What you call him? I called him... They are the freaking best competitors in this very ring, like. But they're not gonna fight neither of them three tomorrow at Revolution, like. Okay, like you're the Arcon Scramble, it's the Arcon Scramble. I don't know if you know Chris Jericho, like I'm not. He's like, yes, he said, I'm Chris Jericho, and you should know me. Like, I'm not no other all-star. Like, I am the greatest of all time in professional wrestling that ever did this. Fans like, hell yeah, he is, because he proved it for the past 33 years of being in this business. And this is where Jericho was like, and you think you're gonna bypass this over me, like, and the 6 of the other competitors, like, in this match, like 6 of the greatest performers of AEW, like at worldwide. Like, I'm gonna give you a little inspiration for you, Wardlow. Like, okay, I am Chris Jericho. Like, they call me the Ocho, like, because I really am anytime, and when it comes to a world champion, like, and most importantly, I am the very first AEW world champion. For your information, back 5 years ago, like. And fans like, yes, he was. Like, before Wardlow was even thought of being a main eventer, like, he was doing this since then in AEW. And even before in AEW, winning World Championship gold in other companies, one of them being WWE, of course. But anyway, this is where you. And then this is where it's like, you are a zero right now because you ain't worth sugar honey iced tea. And I was surprised that they allowed him to say this without censoring it out. I'm like, what world are we living in? Like, did he just literally just say that? And like, even though this might be a one-time thing, like on maybe each an episode, like with TNT probably said you could allow to say it once, but not ever again, like on each episode. And this is where Jericho did, but anyway, this is where Jericho did continue saying, like, so before you continue to disrespect me, like going straight to the top of the line, like, I want to remind you that been 4 years the last time I lost that title to John Moxley, like in one of the greatest matches in history at that very first AEW Revolution, like like, and then this is where Jericho's like, I probably had a moment that held that title. Like it was just only a few months that I've been that championship, and I didn't even got a chance to sniff that title. Like so, tomorrow AEW Revolution, like it's not gonna be another match for me. And it's the chance to me to get back where I think I could be, I know could be, for the AEW Championship, because I know like now I'm good enough for that. And fans like, and you damn right you are. This is where Wardlow's like, yeah, right, like you, like you, like you guys are just, Jericho crybabies. Like, which he did not say that, but I thought I might just say it for myself, like to make it sound like he said more references about the Rock. But he's like, yeah, y'all just some few that felt like if he does not get this win, and if I do, y'all gonna be crying to me and owning on Twitter and Instagram about and other social platforms on how I was the winner and I'm not ready and whatnot. Like, but I know I'm damn sure I'm ready and I'm an uncrowned champion and a king. And this is where fans like, oh, like he got, but the fans like you got, but this is where Jericho said like you're complaining here so very much, like you overlook like and you pushed aside, like, and thousands of people like used to chant my name, Wardlow, and I got a rocket on the back. I get more. Like, you ever think maybe it wasn't any of those things? Like, maybe the reason why people stopped chanting your name, Wardlow, like, is because you weren't just good enough. The fans like, oh, like, fair enough. And this is where Jericho's like, you're not as good enough that you think you are, Ward. And this is where Wardlow's like, right, what? And this is where fans start chanting, fight, 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 fight. And this is where Wardlow's like, you know what, Chris? You're absolutely right. And the fans like, this is very shocking, even for him. And this is where Wardlow's like, because, like, you know why I think you're right? Like, because, like, I was this close on the top of the mountain, like, of success. And I could have smelled it, like, myself. I could damn near reach that opportunity. And after double or nothing, like, I showed up from work, like, and just a step backwards, like, and then the next week, like, I stepped down from then I step backwards. Again, I step down. Again, I step down, and then step down, and then backwards, forward. And yeah, Chris, like that pissed me completely off. Like to the point that I'm letting it eat me right inside and way too much, and to the point that I've been taking home and I let it ruin my personal life. Like I lost my best friend because of it. Like I lost me, myself, and I. Like, and after sitting at home for 3 whole months with no explanation on no phone calls, like I slowly started to remember who exactly I am. Again, I did it. Like, and I dawned so many times in my life, like, pick myself off the floor, put myself back together, like, and come back here, like, and remind all of you who the hell exactly I am, because I am freaking Lord Wardlow. Like, I am the biggest, baggest SOBs to ever step foot in this professional wrestling ring. Like, I don't give a damn what your name is, Jericho. I don't know how many titles you won, like, in your history of your professional. And I said it a week ago, and he's like, and I'm completely done eating your damn scraps, Jericho. And then this is where Jericho started chuckling. It's like, this guy is so delusional. He just don't know how crazy he sounds right now. And this is where Wardlow didn't continue to say, like, you think that I'm not good enough, Jericho? Like, I'm right here. Like, feel free to come down here and show me, like, because I would like to rely on you on who. I want to show you who the hell I am. And then this is where Jericho's like, if you want me to show you and prove something right now, I'll do it right now, Wardlow. Like right here, I'll take the rocket and shove up your ass right in front of everybody here and what's that? And Las Vegas, what's it called? what's it? It starts with letter L, somethingville, yeah. But it's a town in Alabama. He's like, we want to do it with this crowd. Like, let's do it right now. This is where he tried to charge into the ring, but he gets attacked from behind by Powerhouse Hobbs. This is where he started doing his beating onto the Ocho. Like this, for some reason, he did this because obviously he has some unfinished business with Jericho, with the Don Callis family for some reason. Unless they ended it and they're trying to revisit this feud with him doing the work of the Don Callis, and this is where he went and stared at Wardlow right after he gave Jericho a very sad beating onto the inaugural AEW World Champion. Like, and this is where he's like, "You're welcome, Mr. Wardlow, but it's going to cost you something." And that is the shot at the AEW World Championship, when I beat both of y'all this Sunday, along with the other 5 participants. And then this is where he's like, "There's only one, I guess, one down, 6 more to go." That's what he was said to Wardlow. Wardlow was like, "Oh, really? You want to bet? Like, how about we don't have to wait until less than 24 hours? We could do it right now." Like, and this is where the referee's like, no, we got to listen to the big boss man himself, which is Tony Khan, or what Thomas Tony Storm would call Mr. Anthony Khan. But anyway, this is where they break it up before it gotten worse. And I forgot to tell you, the Bang Bang Scissor Gang taking on the Dark Order, that deserves the 4th best match of the night. And do you agree? Let me know in the comments down below. I think it does. And then this next match with Thunder Rosa deserves 3rd match of the night, even though it didn't even last, or it hardly lasts for 5 minutes. But we're going to get that in just a moment. But let me know in the comments on this little confrontation of Wardlow between Powerhouse Hobbs and Wardlow, which they're the 2 guys next to Jericho and others that's going to be in the match. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below and who exactly going to win this scrambling match between Lance Archer, Chris Jericho, Hook, Powerhouse Hobbs, Wardlow, Brian Cage, Dante Martin, and Magnus. The all 8 men. Let me know in the comments down below who's going to win that match. But this is where we got, I believe, Lexi in the backstage interview with what's her name, Serena Deeb. This is where she was like ever since you've been back, you've been completely undefeated, dominating every woman in this women's division. And you say you want to change everything in the women's division and try to go after for the big AEW World Championship. Like, do you care to share with me in this interview about what exactly you mean by that? This is where Serena